All right, let's take a look at our poll question for today. Here it is. How are you feeling about Tennessee's football program? Great, playoffs. Or, better than this time last year. Or, portal help, please. Or, worried about 2025. Before yesterday's insanity online, I don't think worried about 2025 would have been the leader. I think yesterday and all the hubbub drove that to the top. Okay. I want to mention the scholarship things as we were going to break. Tennessee has, and credit to Adam Sparks, the Sentinel, for putting this out there, they have lost 27 players that we know of at this point. It could be 28 with Mike Matthews if his name appears in the portal or not, which we'll find out Monday. In terms of people taking those spots, they signed 25 in their signing class. So you got 25 freshmen coming in, so that leaves you with 3. You got Wendell Moe from Arizona, that leaves you with 2. So in terms of going out and grabbing 2 receivers, so that's all you can grab. You try to get another offensive lineman. Now, you can go over that, but you're going to have to start chucking people overboard and saying, yeah, we really don't need you, and I don't think anybody likes that. So thoughts on just the numbers crunch. Do you see that being a problem? Or in this age of wild, wild west, Josh, they can figure it out.
Yeah, I've always had a difficult time keeping up with the numbers, and I've always leaned toward the numbers will work themselves out how the program needs them to. And now in this age, I lean more that way, that I don't know exactly how the numbers are going to work out, but if they need a player gone or they need a player in, they're going to make sure they have the numbers to make that happen. So right now it looks a lot tighter than I'm guessing it will be if they have more players that they need to bring in.
But if right now it looks tighter, and it does look like it's pretty tight, does that keep you from aggressively going after guys that are available right now, going to be available, or do you have to kind of hang back before you call your third string guard and say, hey, what were you going to do after you got done at UT, because it's a great time to start working on your future? So I think it is a problem, and I don't have confidence that it'll work itself out, because right now your receiver room is down to 2 guys, 3 if you put Boo Carter in there. Hey, we had a little discussion about that.
Stick a pin in the Boo Carter thing, because I got a stat later that'll be all for Boo Carter.
So are you going to be able to even make enough room to get a receiver room with enough depth that it makes a difference? So I am worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, and how can you not be worried? It's a receiver room, offensive line, right? I mean, and you really need both.
Yep.
Especially, to me, I think you need to turn your focus back on the offensive line. You've got one, and he looks like he could be, a guard? Looks like he could help you there.
I've never seen Wendell Moe. Nobody has.
Right.
All these people who are celebrating Wendell Moe, they've never seen him play one play of football in their lives.
Gamblers, that's the only people who have seen
So
him
that's
play.
why I said it. I've seen him 2 or 3 times. But what I'm saying is that if it's not a numbers crunch now, it's going to be pretty soon.
All right.
I would just say, when Josh was mentioning the secondary from last year, I looked at it and said, Tennessee's in trouble from a wide receiver standpoint, but now I'm looking at it saying, maybe they'll figure it out. And don't they always figure out how to get these roster spots, right? And so last year, I was one that said, panic about that secondary, because if those dudes left and these are the guys backing them up, they're going to be worse. Now I'm looking at the wide receiver room, and I do think maybe it was mismanaged, because you thought you had Mike Matthews and you had these guys, and you had Brazel and you had
Braylon
Squirrel.
Staley is supposed to be the future.
Yeah. So you thought maybe you had guys, but we watched them kind of, I don't want to say blow it, but we watched it get them put themselves in a deficit in the secondary last year, and they did a pretty darn good job putting that together. So I think they'll do a pretty good job putting it together this year as a wide receiver corps.
All right, let's come back. When we come back in the next segment, I'm just going to fire straightforward questions that you guys will handle it that way. Come on back on the Sports Source. We got much more to talk about on this roster stuff.